Hi, beautiful ones. It's Becky again with Great Transformations, your personal transformation consultant. And I am back for this week's Messages from the Heart, number 4. This week I wanted to fill you in again about the second kiteboarding lesson and share about this week's message, which is loving yourself and accepting yourself regardless of the outcome. You might be able to figure out that the goal and intention that I set for myself in the second lesson of actually getting out into the water did not happen. I really struggled with controlling the kite this week, and it was almost as if everything that I learned the week before just flew right out the window, and the kite was actually controlling me more than I was controlling the kite. And I found that I am taking responsibility for where I went and what I was able to do with the lesson. And I'm also given the gift of understanding that there really is truth to the statement about the company that we keep, or the teachers that we learn from, or the people that we hang around with and their energy. I found myself being really influenced by this week's instructor's energy and the way he went about it. Last week when I shared about my lesson, I had a lot of fun. And I knew that this instructor was sort of just a get out there and do it, you can do it type of person, and it really created a space for me to move beyond my fears and enjoy it and have fun, and I was so successful. And this week, the instructor was one that I had briefly the year before. Our first lesson a year ago, I had to cut short because the day before, I got a root canal, and that was kind of painful in looking up and doing what I needed to do, and I thought, I got to time out on this. The scheduling and everything isn't working well, and I kept finding myself getting frustrated in that lesson and just hearing over and over, this is not fun. I am not enjoying this. This is not fun. So this week, that initial instructor was my instructor again, and I recognized that this is one of those situations where I think the person that was teaching me, it wasn't the best fit. I can tell you every safety hazard that can happen and every accident and incident that can happen through not doing things correctly about kiteboarding because of what this instructor was teaching and sharing. And I realized that I'm good enough at that on my own, and I didn't need someone reinforcing that way of thinking about something that was challenging. I'm not saying go out willy-nilly and just start, kite surfing without any instruction or any awareness of the dangers that are around. I mean, that is partially why I was so afraid. I am acutely aware of all the dangers. I am so in awe of the power of the wind that that's what's made it hard for me to even fly that kite. So when this instructor was teaching me, it was a lot of talk about all the dangers. It was a lot of talk about all the things that could go wrong. And I think that for me, I allowed it to box me in to that fearful place, to that mental place. And I really struggled in getting out of my mind and enjoying the kite, and enjoying the process. At one point I did finally say, you gotta not tell me anymore about the accidents. I can't hear it anymore. Stop. Which I was really proud of myself because that was kind of speaking up for what I needed. But by the time I got to fly the kite, I started going back into the old muscle memory of how I did things. And rather than the instructor kind of sitting back and letting me find my way again, he reached over me. He was taller and he grabbed the bar and was trying to show me how to do it correctly. But I recognized the challenge was, because of our height difference, my body was still going back into the wrong position, and I just could not find that rhythm. So again, I'm taking responsibility for myself. I'm not blaming the instructor. but I'm just really aware of the importance of who we receive our messages from and how they say it and how these are all of our different personalities and the way we process things need to work together in a way that suits us best. So that's the part about, the company you keep being extremely important. You have a dream and someone's like, yeah, how are you going to pull that off? It might not be the person you want to talk to your dream about. Maybe be talking to someone and they go, ooh, wow, tell me how you're going to pull that off. There's such a difference in how the message and the encouragement and the support and the love is delivered. And you've got to find the ones that work best for you. Now, with the fact that I didn't make it out into the water, that so let me recognize the importance, like I said, of loving and accepting myself regardless of the outcome. I had a choice in that moment of how I was going to see myself, love myself, talk to myself, how I was going to write the story about myself from that event. Because I could have very easily have looked at myself as a failure. And I could have very easily looked at myself as someone who isn't good enough to do things, or that I did it wrong, or that I just make mistakes, or that I'm not even worth the time to have even shown up, that I've wasted his time, or something like that. And I recognize that I need to be the type of company for myself that I want to keep. And so I got to love myself unconditionally, right then and there, and really acknowledge what I did. Because showing up is half the battle. In fact, it's 90% of the battle. In fact, I even hate the fact that I'm saying the word battle. But it's coming out at the moment. So we're going to roll with it. But I really recognize the importance of not defining who we are or finding ourselves acceptable and lovable based on the outcomes that we manage to achieve. It's not about the external worldly things. It's about the qualities that we hold inside. It's about the words that we say to ourselves. It's about the amount of unconditional love that we hold for ourselves. Because if I wouldn't have told myself and believed that I was still just as amazing, whether I could fly across the ocean on a board with a kite, or whether I can't, that's me putting conditions on myself of my worthiness and my lovability. And the world does enough to us around that. And I want to be the change I wish to see in the world. So I recognize that this was my perfect setup to show myself how much I can love myself, how much I can accept myself, and that my worth is not defined by whether I can or can't kiteboard. I showed up, I did it, I'm okay with taking another break for a while, because I kind of would like to pursue some other things, like maybe wakeboarding. I never even thought I would open up to wakeboarding. It sounds a little less challenging, yet just as exhilarating. So maybe I'll try that for a while. But I just want to encourage you. Be mindful of the company and that you keep with yourself. Be mindful of the conditions of loving and acceptability and worthiness that you put on yourself. And if you feel like you're struggling a little with this, I would love to work with you. You can email me, like me, share this message, contact me, and I'd love to work with you. We can do a quick little conversation to see if it's a match, because again, the people we work with are important. The messengers and the teachers and the coaches and the transformation consultants that you choose to bring into your life are important. And the last thing that I would want is for you to be out there struggling with your own worth, with your own loving yourself and feeling like you had nowhere to go. So I just want you to know I'm here, and I would love to cheer you on and support you. And I promise, we had a glitch. Hi, we're back. And I promise that I will help you find your way through this and offer support and encouragement and do my best to make this journey we call life fun. So have a great week, and I will see you next week for message number 5, and we'll see what comes out then. Bye, beautiful ones.